Ignition. Give me that.
We live. We
Yes,
live, huh?
sir. Another day.
Yes,
sir. Another on the Big Dogs Show. It's a beautiful day. Look at that's just a beautiful day. Another beautiful
Labor
day.
Day.
Um, Labor Day. Yes. Everybody. I hope you're getting the rest on Labor Day that you deserve. Those who are working, I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I
Get
love
your double
work.
time.
Without work, without work, you know what I'm saying? We can't support our families. But it's another beautiful day, another beautiful show on Under Big Dogs. We'll give people an opportunity to populate into the show to talk these topics with us. It's another one, man. I'm glad to be here. Under Big
The
Dogs is here.
Yo, King, the
Under
last
Big
show of the
Dogs,
night without Monday Night
yeah.
Football. The last show of the night without Monday Night Football of the year.
This is the first of all, there to know that there's not going to be any more Sundays for the next for the next
Just say
what?
year.
For the
just
next
just say the
for the
rest of the
next
year.
about for the next about 23, 24 weeks, we do not have to go another Sunday without football. Oh my goodness. That is a beautiful thing, man. That is a beautiful thing. And then right around the corner, next month, basketball is starting.
Yes,
NBA
sir.
basketball is back. So we got another fun show today. Of course, we always come with the fire topics to give to y'all to talk and deliberate and debate about. So we got another jam-packed fun show. Gator, kick us off with some sports news for the
Of
people.
course, of course. So Cowboys, I don't know much about their offensive line, but they're a big deal for this guy, so he must be important. They signed Terrence Steele to an $86.5 million contract for 5 years for a left tackle. So that's huge. So, I mean, good for the Cowboys, I guess. Do you know anything about him?
If you paying somebody that much money, they must be
Yeah.
do a good job blocking.
Yeah.
So, I say you don't pay somebody that much money if they don't do a great job blocking. So even though I haven't studied his game and can like decipher whether or not he deserves it or not, like properly, they know something that I obviously don't know. I want to know if they paid that one dude that was sitting out. Do we know about that? They had somebody else on the offensive line that was
Yeah,
sitting out.
not
I
Jacob
wonder
Martin, I think. The right guard.
Martin, yeah, something
Yeah, I
Martin.
don't
Did
think
they
I
pay
don't
him?
think they signed him yet. So he's still, I believe he's still holding out. I'll look that up a little later.
Okay, good
Uh,
for them.
Jam- Jamal Adams is out week 1, still not healthy enough, so they ruled him out. Um,
Oh, we know that. Yeah.
yeah,
And that's big though because I'm all over the Seattle Seahawks this year. So that's big.
yeah, and news out of Tampa. Well, it's not relatively news. It's kind of been going on for a few weeks, but Mike Evans is still frustrated with the contract situation. He's looking out for a new contract. A lot of holdouts this year. A lot of holdouts this year. So that's gonna be interesting to see as well how that plays out. He might even miss week 1. There's a bunch of people. We still got the Nick Bosa thing. The Jonathan Taylor situation. A lot of holdouts this year. So thank God Josh Jacobs and Saquon, we could see them play this Sunday, because I do love the running back position as much as I understand how the contract thing works. I love the running back position. They are the most fun, one of the most fun positions to watch in sports. So
Yeah, I mean, and to just piggyback on that, I kind of when it comes down to these skill position guys, the guys that are the most popular
yeah,
on the team, I feel as though they should be doing more outside of the sport. Like offensive linemen, defensive linemen don't really get too much recognition depending on who you are. But those running backs, those wide receivers, got like positions like that, DBs, like y'all should be making a killing off the field with your name, image, and likeness. So, you know, the other positions they get paid a lot more, yes, but they can't, make what you could make off the field, by name, image, and likeness.
One can argue too that like um, the offensive defensive line is like the heart of the team, but they really like unless you're a fan of the team, it's hard unless you're like one of the top 10 guys or a fan of the team. You're not gonna know many offensive and defensive linemen. Well,
Well, it's because
defensive linemen, the highlights. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
the camera is focused on the skill players.
Yeah, like of course
They
we know the
weren't taking
household
like
names. Of course we know the household names like Trent Williams, David Bakhtiari, stuff like that. But Aaron Donald, you know the main guys. But there's a lot of really solid offensive linemen and defensive linemen in football. Yeah, and most casual viewers wouldn't know two of them. So that it's good to see the Terrence Steele get that contract he deserves. Um, More NFL news. There's two more NFL news. I'll start with the Cooper Cup situation. He's listed as day to day. That's what he's listed as. But he's seeking a specialist for this hamstring injury. So I really don't know what's going on there. It doesn't seem like they're being as honest as they can be about this. I don't expect him to play week 1. It kind of reminds me of the Keenan Allen situation last year. You know, you just didn't know when he was coming back. He did come back and he did play well. He contributed well towards the end of the season, but we just didn't know what the heck was going on with that. So that's something to look out to because, this is a brand new team, young team, the Rams now. They lost a lot of key defensive players. They still have their offense intact if Cooper Cup is available to play. So, I mean, that's huge. That's huge for them. He got to get back on the field. Anything you want to say about that?
Mm-mm. Nah, I mean, I got Cooper Cup in fantasy, so I'm not really feeling Cooper Cup right now.
I did a draft
So
yesterday, King. I got him. I picked Tyreek Hill at 1-6, and I wanted up. He's fallen so far right now. I got Cooper Cup at 2-8 in the second round. Tyreek Hill and Cooper Cup to start my draft.
I
I'm
would
letting
never
that
even
play
touched
out.
him if I was you.
I
I
know.
would have
I
never even touched him
I
if I
I'm,
was
I'm
you.
letting it play out. I'm letting it play out. It was a small league. I'm letting that play out. Um, Last NFL news today. Cornerback, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Chidobe Awuzie returns for the Bengals week 1. One of the best players on that, may be the best player on that defense. Before he got injured last year, he was top
We'll
5
see.
in cornerback. He was top 5 in pass breakups last
Oh,
year before the injury. So, very
mm-hmm.
important that the Bengals get him back for week 1 at the start of the year. They missed him towards the end of the year last year. It could be a big part of the reason why they maybe couldn't beat the Chiefs in the AFC title game, but they had their chances. So that's it for NFL news. Some small NBA news here. There wasn't many signings this weekend, but the Kings signed JaVale McGee to add to their depth. I really like the Kings this year. I can't wait for when we do our NBA predictions and when we get close to the season. I got the Kings as maybe a top 3 seed in the West this year. Potential conference championship run, depending on matchups and stuff like that. So, what do you think? Does that help them, or it's JaVale McGee? What you
Um,
think?
he's a phenomenal practice player. Phenomenal, phenomenal practice player. I know he has winning DNA. Like if you watch how JaVale McGee plays the game, he has winning DNA and it spills over in practice. I fully understand why Mike Brown went ahead and picked up JaVale McGee. He knows how. He's a winner. Like and so, whether he, only gets 8, 12 minutes per game, the impact he's gonna have on that team in practice is going to be huge for that team. And so, yeah, I mean, it doesn't move the needle as far as them winning a title
Yeah.
much.
Quick thought about the Kings. You got them in the top 4 again or no? You think
My once favorite team in the NBA, the Sacramento
they were the
Kings.
3 seed this year? You think right? I'm gonna just like ask like, do you think they're just as good? So you think they 3 or 4 seed, or you think they take a step back this year?
Um, that's a great question. With everybody healthy in the West, um, I think teams for some reason, I think when you have a situation where the NBA just put in that new rule where you have to at least, I want to say it's like you have to at least play 66 games to be considered for any individual award. So that new rule, I think, changes things, and makes teams more competitive on a night in, night out basis. And so, um,
Do you think the
it's going to
team? Do you
be
think?
they're going to be in the playoffs again.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you think teams are gonna find ways around that rule? Like maybe start somebody for the first 5 minutes of the game, and then
Oh, like limit their minutes in the game.
yeah. I feel like
Great
you
question.
put a rule like that in, but does it really change anything? I mean, realistically, you could just have them
Oh,
come onto the floor
you're
for a
just trying to
minute.
move the needle to like
Yeah,
get players to start playing again. That's all that's about.
yeah, okay. And the last bit of news we have today is I don't want to get much into the game because I mean it was crazy, but I don't know if you watched. Florida State absolutely destroyed LSU last night in the second half. It was 17-14 at halftime, LSU, and Florida State wound up scoring 42 points. It was, I think, it was like 28-7 in the second half of that game. The the quarterback for FSU looked like a Heisman candidate the way he was playing last night. So is Florida State's back? Is Florida State back, King? Did you get to peep any of that game last night?
I definitely got to see them boys go crazy. I mean, the quarterback for Florida State definitely kind of looked shaky in that first half. Second half, he went
Crazy.
absolutely crazy.
Ball placement was
He looked
insane.
good. I thought he wasn't the goods the way he um played in that first half. I'm like, who is this guy? And then boy, he came out in that second half and looked absolutely phenomenal. So
I was really
um
impressed with their defense,
they got
especially in that second
they
half.
got the best. I want to say they got the best edge rusher in college football. And so I didn't know their pieces. I didn't know who they had. I didn't know why they was ranked eighth in the nation. I had no idea. Like I genuinely had no idea. Like they've been bad for a long time. So to see them back in the fold, when you talk about this, that's one of my favorite programs out there. When you talk about guys that came from that program, like Jalen Ramsey, um,
Dalvin
the
Cook.
dude from Dalvin Cook, the dude on the Chargers, um, safety on the Chargers. What's his name? One of my
Yeah, I
favorite
know what you're
players in the,
talking about.
in the NFL
I know what
too.
you're talking about.
Dar
Darwin James.
Derwin James.
Derwin James, yeah.
Derwin James. Deion Sanders went there, who we're going to talk about a little bit next. But it's just like that's one of the most richest programs in terms of talent that came out of there, especially at the skill positions. Like I want to see that team back, in the fold. Facts for sure.
Yeah, and not only that, college football right now is in a really good state for the teams that are like right outside the top 10 to make cuz like Georgia's new at quarterback. We don't know like they're ranked 1. We don't know what's going to happen with them though. They don't got Stetson Bennett anymore. They still got Brock Bowers. They still got that crazy tight end. Number 2 is Michigan. They always fold. They always fold. Jim Harbaugh's not even the coach right now. He's suspended until I think week 4. I don't know exactly what he did, but he's not there. He's not at Michigan right now. 3 is Ohio State. They looked very shaky. I don't know if you paid attention to them. They only scored 23 points against Indiana. They started both quarterbacks and both looked terrible. You got the best wide receiver core in the country, and even they looked shaky. 4 is Alabama. They got a new quarterback. They probably looked the most impressive this weekend. They might be back to old Alabama. It's like it's wide open this year. There's no like clear, at least after week 1. There's no like clear consensus. Oh my God, this team is gonna win a national title. So it's very very fun year in college football. A very fun year. So Florida State. they could get right back into that playoff prediction and maybe win a chip. And we're gonna talk a little more about college football in our first topic of the day. Anything you want to add to that?
No. I'm ready to get into this neon Deion Sanders phenomenon.
Yeah,
He's a walking phenomenon.
so crazy story out of week 1 college football. There was a lot of games, but nothing compared to this one. Colorado upsets the not defending champions, but they were in the national title game last year. I know it's not the same team, but Deion Sanders moves to prime D1 school.
Team. I mean, a lot of
Yeah,
guys.
the quarterback
not
Duggan's not there.
A lot of really good players is not there anymore. However, and I'll just get straight into it because this is just what our thoughts are about the upset. My biggest thing is me being right now. I'm a coach. I coach basketball, right? My whole thing is those guys on TCU that was there in Saturday's game at TCU, they've been in that program. So it's not like, a lot of those guys, just got there. They've been in that program. Were they starters on last year's national championship runner-up team for TCU? No. But they was next up and they're already implemented into what TCU football does. My thing is, you have that working against you as a Colorado head coach. You have the fact that
we lost you a little bit there, King. Still here? You still with us? We lost the CEO, man. Let's see if we can get him back in here. You there, King?
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect. I just dragged you back in.
When you had, I don't know where I left off.
To be honest, I don't know either.
But when you have 7 months to prepare for your first game, when you have only 7 months with your group of guys that you recruited, 98% of that roster brand new. I want to say it's only 12 returning players. I want to say it's only 12 returning players. And I could be wrong. It could be less than that. And so it's just like
for TCU or Colorado.
Colorado.
Okay.
So when you have just a bunch of new guys together to implement your brand of football in such a quick time is very impressive. For the offense to look that sharp, having only played together for 7 months is something. I want to say it was either before or after spring camp. A lot of the guys he brought in, he got a lot of those guys out of there. A lot of those guys left, went back into the portal, and he had to bring a new wave of recruits in. And that just happened like 3 months ago. So it's pretty wild how he was able to sort of, put the pieces together in such a short time to look that good out there on the field. I'm definitely a CU bandwagon jumper, obviously, because of what Deion is
I cannot wait to watch them play this year.
How can you not be on the bandwagon? How can you not? What Deion is doing, there's only one or two things that can describe when you look at what Deion is doing, there's only one or two things that you take away from it as somebody who's witnessing it. You're either going to be a hater or you're either going to be inspired. There's no lukewarm in it. There's no in between in it. There's no
How can you be a hater after that?
bro,
Like,
it's bro,
you
it's people out
can't.
there. You got to realize.
They
This
could
is what
go
you got to
they
realize.
could lose every other
This
game
what
the
you got
rest
to
of the year.
realize. This what you got to realize though, right?
Yeah.
When you got guys like the other top, NFL, the other top NFL, excuse me, college football coaches. When you got the other top college football coaches, they don't have slogans and quotes all over the place. They're not recognized for like the stuff that they spill out their mouth outside of football. Like it's just about football for them. Like it's just they just when you hear them speak, they talking about football. When you hear Dion speak, he's dropping gems. He's saying, stuff like like he's just dropping gems. I just wish I had the gems, the quotes that he's just constantly dropping that just constantly lives in people's heads rent free. For anybody that's actually paying attention to the words that come out his mouth, it's nobody is doing it like him. And so when you do it your way, when you do it in a way that brings so much attention to yourself, people do tend to get envious. They just do. And trust me, there are those out there like that. But I'm sitting here like, wow, I'm inspired. I'm straight up inspired to turn a program around that has been that bad in 7 months is absolutely crazy.
I totally agree with almost everything you said. Literally, Colorado. What was Colorado's record last year? Let me see
One
real
in
quick.
something. 1-11 or 1-12, something like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, right? They won either like one or yeah, they went
One.
they went 1-12 last year. And Coach Prom takes over and their first win of the season, they're 1-0. They already tied their record for last year after week 1 and they beat a top 10. They haven't beat a top I think 25 team in like 2 or 3 years, they said, something like that. A top 25 school. Like, forget top 10, top 25 school. So, I mean, and are we really like? Is this conversation where Travis Hunter could really be in the Heisman? Like after week 1,
Bruh, the dude is playing 80% of the football game.
yeah. It reminds me
That's
of who did that for Michigan a few years ago. He didn't do. He's not the great. Landon, was it Landon Collins? No. Who did that for Michigan a few years ago under Jim Harbaugh? He
I
didn't
don't know.
turn into the greatest NFL player. I think the
Is it
Browns
Don?
drafted him.
Is it Donovan Peoples Jones?
No.
He's on Donovan Peoples Jones on the Browns.
Yeah, it wasn't though. No, he ended up going to
Oh,
the Giants. He got traded to the Giants
got
for
Isaiah Simmons.
Odell. For Odell.
He got traded to the Giants for. Oh, you're talking. No, he's on the Patriots right now.
I don't know where he is now. I'm saying,
He's on the Patriots right now. You're
yeah,
talking
who
about
is?
the safety. He's a
Yeah, who
safety
is
right
he?
now.
Who
Oh
is
my
that?
gosh, what's his name? He was a Brown. I know who you talk about, but yeah, go ahead. I know who you talking about. Yes, I know
I
who you
mean
talking about.
that's what he reminds me of, and that dude had a crazy last season. And he was getting kick returns and punt returns too for Michigan. He played offense and defense.
Nah,
That's who he reminds me of.
he's legit in the NFL though. He ain't no scrub. He's
He's
balling.
not
He
a scrub.
balls.
Yeah, he's not a
Nah, he's
scrub.
nice. He is reliable for that New England defense. Like he's putting
Who
on.
is that,
He's
man?
putting on. He's putting on. He's putting on. He's for sure putting on. Trust. Um, but yeah, no. Right now, honestly, I have Shador
Jabril
Sanders.
Peppers. Jabril Peppers.
Jabril Peppers.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jabril Peppers.
I have I have Shador Sanders over Travis Hunter right now in the MVP. I mean, in the Heisman vote, in the Heisman
Where
race
is he
right now.
from? Where's Sanders from?
Sanders?
Yeah, was he on that Colorado team last year? No, right?
Shador Sanders,
Yeah, where's he from?
his son, the quarterback.
Where I know did he play on Colorado last year? Where is he a freshman?
No, he was is fit. Sanders coached him in high school, and then he got all type of offers from Bama, all the top schools, but he chose to go to Jackson State with his dad. He was at Jackson State quarterback last year. In the last 2 years, broke like he just destroyed the HBCU level,
They got
and then came with his
he got two sons on the team, right?
yes,
On the defensive
Shiloh
end.
Sanders, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
played safety. And he also went with his dad to Jackson State, then followed his dad
Oh,
to
he played.
Colorado.
So Shador played on Jackson State last year.
Jackson
Okay,
State and
no, that's what I
destroyed.
was asking.
Absolutely. And so he came over, but I have him over him right now because you got to think the reason it's simple why I got him over him right now, and that's because if he throws for the rest of the year every game 500 plus yards and 4+ touchdowns every game for the rest of the year, will he win Heisman?
It depends what Caleb Williams does, but yes.
All right, let me repeat. Oh, did you hear the numbers? If he throws for 500 passing yards
Yeah,
every
but the
game
teams he's
and
playing,
four passing touchdowns every game, he's going to win
he's gonna win
Heisman.
that.
That's
He'll win that. He'll
that's
win
no,
that.
I don't even want to do the math on what that going to end up. Look, he would break every freaking passing yard record in college football. But I just say that to say he did that in game one. So that's his current average right now
If it wasn't for
as it
Shador
stands.
Sanders, they would have lost that football game. Travis Hunter
100%.
didn't win it for them. I agree with that.
No, he definitely.
He
Whoa, he
helped. He
definitely.
helped. He definitely
No,
helped.
he was injured. It was
That
Shador and
pick
then
he
Travis.
had. That pick he had was
Huge. The
that
pick
was
was huge. 11 receptions for 119 yards.
three
They
had
threw
three
his way
tackles.
in the first half. They threw his way 5 times. Uh, didn't he had all game long one completed catch on him. Like this dude was a problem out there.
I'm gonna throw
11
their
for
schedule up
119.
too right now. I'm gonna put a little graphic on our screen. Let's talk about how many wins we think they get this year. They're definitely gonna be ranked, right? After this win, you would assume, right?
No,
No, really, not even like 25th.
no, because the the AP votes and the the voters are not going to jump on a bandwagon that quick like that. You just
After
know
a
they're
big
not.
win, they might. They might. You got to say they're better than TCU, who was 17th.
Yeah, they
So
are, but they're
so
not
how
going to
can
jump
you
on a
not put them
bandwagon
in
like that.
there?
Not going to jump
I'm
on them.
sure a
They going to
couple.
be,
I'm sure a couple top 25 teams lost. I'm sure the people lost and gonna be kicked out.
bruh.
There's definitely room for Colorado.
Nebraska lost to Minnesota and looked horrible doing it, and at home, at home, they're only favored to beat Nebraska by 3 points. They just beat a 17th ranked opponent, and at home opener, sold out crowd, gonna be a circus.
Everybody,
And
everybody and their mother's gonna be betting Colorado in that game, huh?
exactly, and that's what's scary. That's why I just like
Trap game.
trap game is coming.
Yeah.
But God forbid. But my whole thing is they're only favored by 3 to beat a porous Nebraska team, and and so I say that to say that
Is
bro,
that because
you're not gonna be ranked.
Is that because we are overlooking the win? You think? You think people are overlooking the win, or and people think maybe it was a fluke?
Well, when you're in a voter's chair, you can't have recency bias. You
No,
have
forget the
to.
ranking. Forget the ranking. I'm talking about the line. You think are we?
Oh, the line.
Do you think that Vegas just thinks that might have been a fluke? Because it does. You're right. It makes no sense. Nebraska got whooped to an unranked school, and Colorado beat a top 25 opponent on the road.
You know what I think, honestly? There was so many people who put a lot of money on Colorado money line for
I
that
bet.
plus 680.
I
They
bet.
did. So I'm looking, and a lot of people came up off Vegas in that first matchup against TCU. A lot. There was a lot of people that said plus 21. Are you kidding me? Yes, I will take that. And Vegas took a big L on that spread. Vegas is looking at it like, all right, I'm about to try to get them back. Put it at 3. Everybody and their mother gonna have them winning by at least 3. Are you kidding? So it is a scary situation, but I'm not going to try to consider those things. I'm just going to try to believe that they get the job done because they're supposed to.
I agree with you. So I got their schedule on the board
Schedule
here.
up.
Schedule up. So let's go. Let's run through it real quick.
How many wins?
I'm gonna give them the win in Nebraska. I know it's a
The
trap,
win
but
at home. Yeah.
yeah, I think they beat Colorado State, and then I think they lose the next two. That Oregon game, they're gonna lose to USC. Caleb Williams is too. You know what Caleb Williams is gonna do to that defense? They might score 80. They might score 80. Take the over in that game. I don't care if the line says 100, because USC's defense isn't all that either. So
Don't underestimate the adjustments. Don't underestimate because Colorado was really upset about how they looked defensively, especially in the run game, letting TCU run for I think like 260 rushing yards. They were really upset. So there's a big emphasis on you know changing personnel for Deion. Deion Sanders said, "Look, we got to change personnel on that end. That's especially in special teams. They also look bad in special teams as well. I think they surrendered like two possessions because of special teams. They one blocked field goal and then another. I want to say muff punt, maybe. I want to say. And then they also had a fumble. So I just telling you, like the adjustments, the growth in their football club. Now they know what their weakness is. I think they're going to develop on those things. But do they lose at Oregon? Go ahead. That's on you. I'll go after.
that one's tough. They're gonna lose to USC. I think we're gonna find a lot about Colorado and where they're at as a program at that game against Oregon. Where that's gonna be the game where it's like, are they ready or not? I think we're overestimating this TCU game a little bit. I think TCU is bad. I think we're gonna see through the course of the year that TCU is gonna maybe finish 500. I think we'll see. I think we're overestimating that win. A lot of why TCU was so successful last year is because of their wide receiver and their quarterback, who they do not have anymore. So,
And they had Kendra Miller.
yeah, they did as well. And no, they had Deuce Vaughn. Oh no, that's Kansas State.
Oh, Kendra
That's Kansas
Miller.
State. That's
Kendra
Kansas
Miller.
State. Yeah, Kendra Miller.
Kendra
You're
Miller.
right. You're right. I don't really care. This is hard, man. You want me to tell you how many wins they're gonna have? Oh man. Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'll say they go 9-4 their first year. And that might even be too much. But I respect that's how much respect I have for Coach Prime. I think he could really turn the 9-4 would be an amazing. We're not talking about college football playoffs here, top 10 ranking. Like that would be insane. That would be one of the best coaching match turnarounds of all time in sports history, yet let alone college football history. So we can't do that. But I do think he could turn this franchise around or this organization around and quickly. So I'll give them a respectful 9-4 the rest of the way. I can't give them anything higher than that, and it realistically might be lower. They got it. The Pac-12. The Pac-12 can score some points. It's tough.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna put myself all the way out there for failure. I'm gonna put myself all the way out there. I've watched and witnessed Cam Newton come to an Auburn program who had been struggling for years and put that team on his back and win a national championship. I have witnessed so many programs with all my experience watching college football have momentum led years where they just won games, and a lot of those were lot close games. Like that one game that Cam Newton played against Bama when he was down at half, down most of the
Yeah.
game. The way he came back and got that done was like that. Those are the type of ways I see Colorado beating these phenomenal football teams. This is the reason why Oregon and USC don't scare me for Colorado. Because we already know Colorado can't play defense.
Yeah, that's true.
Perfectly fine. So Oregon and USC, great offenses. Let's understand something. TCU is a great offense too. Like that is a really good offense. They ran for 260 rushing yards. Like they threw the ball really well. It just was that CU kept making plays at the goal line, red zone area. You had one dude got a pick on the TCU's first drive in the end zone, and then you had Travis Hunter pick dude also near that end zone area. So it's like they would just CU was just making a lot of like it's called like momentum plays, like where hurrah plays, like just those plays where shows that they're in the game and they're fighting, scratching, and clawing. And so, yeah, we know their defense is not great, but we know that they're able to come up with turnovers, and capitalize off those turnovers. And not only that, we know that they're not going to necessarily be able to hold up defensively against these powerful offenses, but it's nothing about USC's Lane Kiffin, not Lane Kiffin. What's the coach over there at SC? That just came from Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, Spence. No. Yeah, I
What's
don't
USC's head
know.
coach name? Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley. He hasn't done enough in the portal yet to bring in a stout defense over
Their
there at
defense is
USC.
horrible. USC's
I'm
defense is
not
horrible.
I'm not at all concerned about what I saw Colorado do to TCU, especially TCU having a top 2-3 cornerback in college football on their team, and Travis Hunter gave him all he could handle. I'm sitting there looking at it like, bro, this offense can move against anybody in this conference. So I'm gonna put myself out there.
You're
It's a
saying
team
better than
though.
9-4, huh?
It's a team.
I think that was pretty respectable for like the range.
It's not even that it wasn't respectable. The only team I see there is Utah.
Yeah,
I'm
Utah's
putting
gonna beat
myself
them. They got a good
I'm putting
defense.
myself out there and saying that Utah's defense is the one defense that I actually believe has a chance to, stop this
What
offensive
about
attack.
Oregon State? What about they usually have a decent defense too.
That game could get funny. However, I'm gonna put myself out there. And say they lose.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm gonna
Don't do
say they
that.
lose 2 games this year.
I was about to say don't do one.
Tops.
That's
I really
crazy.
want to put myself out there and say this is going to be a momentum-filled, undefeated season. I really want to do it.
That's
I really want to do it.
If they do that, it'd be
I
the
really
greatest
wanna
run
do
in
that.
sports history. They go undefeated, greatest run in
really wanna
sports
do that.
history. Greatest
I
run in
really
sports
wanna do
history.
that. But they lose 2 games. I'm gonna go 2 games. 11-2.
That's fair. I mean, I don't.
I see it.
I think that's a lot. That's
I
a lot to ask.
believe,
But
baby. I believe.
I hope you're
Straight
right.
up.
That would be fun. That would be very fun. So let's go into the next topic here.
What do we got?
Was it all Tom Brady in New England? I know you love this topic, so I'll let you lead with this one because you know my answer. I wouldn't say I'm not gonna say all, but go ahead, defend your coach.
Was it all Tom Brady in New England? It's hilarious. It's hilarious to me how we sort of like we don't see the clear difference in the Tom Brady in his first three Super Bowls and the Tom Brady in his last four. Will I ever say Tom is a bum? I have in the past. I have called him a. I have called him a. I have called him a what are they called? What type of a system quarterback? I have called him a system QB before. I ate those words and I openly admitted that. And I will to me, Tom, the way he plays the game of football from the quarterback position right now, thus far, is the best I've ever seen it done. Why? Not because it's flashy. And that was a lot of the reasons why I knocked Tom, why a lot of the reasons why I was calling him a system quarterback was because his game wasn't flashy. And so because of that, I allowed myself to not want to like him as a player, not want to hold him in high regards as a player. But, when you mature in the way you think about how, th- everything that goes into the game of football, like when you consider how hard it is to play the quarterback position, probably the hardest thing to do in sports is play quarterback in all of sports. And when you consider that, it's like, bro, I don't care how you get it done as long as you get it done. I had to change my thinking from Peyton Manning, like loving guys like a Peyton Manning, loving guys like a Dan Marino, loving guys like a in today's game, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. We're talking about like cerebral guys, Drew Brees, like cerebral guys that throw the ball down the field consistently, guys that throw the ball to that mid range to long range radius consistently. And Tom just it was just too many dump downs for me. Too many, too many, too many. I'm just like I can't get behind this. This has to be the system. It has to be the system. It has to be the system. And it was the system. However, to be able to go out and execute it at a high level shows how much he was, taking in from everything that he was learning as a patriot. When you consider that term, patriot way, when you consider it, he really took in everything that came along with that title and was able to and where obviously where um where like ultimately like tipped I had to tip the cap over was when obviously when he went to Tampa Bay Buccaneers and in year one won a title by, let's understand something. That year that they won a title, we still saw a lot of the same Tom that we saw in New England. So he brought the mentality that was over there in New England over to Tampa Bay in a lot of intangible ways. When you consider that they had Bruce Arians, really good offensive coordinator, Hall of Fame offensive coordinator, probably gonna be a Hall of Fame coach more than likely. They had Todd Bowles on the defensive end. All they needed was like a Tom Brady to help them with the intangibles. Bruce Arians never been good at the intangibles. He's always been good at the splash plays. Like I used to love watching Carson Palmer on the Arizona Cardinals. I loved Carson Palmer when he was on the Bengals too. That was another personal favorite player of mine at the quarterback position. But when he was on the Cardinals, he had Carson. He re freaking from the grave Carson Palmer's career, and when he was on Arizona, so he got all the splash plays. They just needed a guy who knew how to execute on intangible things. You know what I mean? And so for him to bring those intangibles over to another system, another organization, and win, to me is just like, okay, like I don't care. From now on, I'm not going to be, I'm going to still love the quarterbacks that I love as far as entertainment goes. But when I'm determining who's better, I'm not going to only consider, what's appealing to my eyes anymore like I used to. And that's a direct effect because of
Tom Brady
Tom.
is a very boring quarterback.
So so to get to the to answer the question though, I had to first give Tom Brady all of his props as the best quarterback that I've ever seen before I go in to say it was obviously not all Tom Brady. It's so obvious that it wasn't all Tom Brady. When you look at year 2003, when the Patriots went 15-1 that season, regular season record 15-1. Tom Brady threw for 3,764 yards. Excuse me. Tom Brady threw for 3,620 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. On average,
They went 15-1, you said?
15-1 that
Damn,
season.
Tom Brady had a 16-0 season and a 15-1 season.
You see what
God
they
damn.
do? You see what they do? Before I can even finish, you see what the Tom advocates do? They just said Tom had a 16-0 season, which he did, and then they just tried to give him also that he had a 15-1 season. When I just read his numbers, 3,620 passing yards, 23 touchdowns thrown, 12 interceptions.
Yeah,
To put that
that's
into
very mid. Very mid.
perspective, that's a little over 200 passing yards per game and like 1.2 touchdowns per game thrown. So and they went 15-1.
Yeah, it's very mid.
Are we sitting here like with a straight face I just deemed Tom the best quarterback I ever watched? Are we sitting here and really giving that season to Tom Brady? Are we really actually going to go there and do that? Let's
Did they win the Super
come
Bowl
on
that
now.
year?
Come on now. Huh?
Did they win the Super Bowl that year?
They won the Super Bowl that year. That was Ty Law, Rodney Harrison, Mike Vrabel, Teddy Bruschi. Like, are we really going to? I'm naming Hall of Famers now that was on that defense. Are we really going to give that season to Tom Brady? Are we really going to do that?
We're not gonna do that.
Are we going to do that? Are we not going to respect football? Are we not going to respect football? Like, because that's what this is. If we give that season a 3,620 passing yard season in 16 games, 23 passing touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He didn't even have a 50% pass touchdown to interception ratio. Like, and they went 15-1. So little over 200 passing yards per game, 1.2 passing touchdowns per game, and managed to go 15-1. That defense was a top, I think was either number 1, number 2 ranked defense in the league that season. We're gonna give that year to Tom? I think not, right? I think not. The very first year that he stepped into the role, very first year that he stepped into the role that he won, and 14 games started. 14 games. This is 14 games. The first Super Bowl. So we already attacked the second Super Bowl.
That's
The
his
first
first
Super
year.
Bowl. The first Super Bowl. Exactly. This is first year. I'm giving him a pass too. But don't give him the credit. Like, I'm giving him a pass for how porous the numbers are in the first year that he won a Super Bowl. I'm giving him a pass for that, of course. But don't give him the credit for the Super Bowl neither, though. And you're talking about 2000.
Do you think they win the Super Bowl if Drew Bledsoe doesn't get hurt though?
All I'm saying is 2000. And I'll get to that. 2,843 passing yards, 18 touchdowns thrown, 12 interceptions in 14 games. And then came in that playoffs. Remember in that playoffs, they couldn't get past, I forget which AFC team it was, but Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady split quarterback play in the AFC Championship game. They both played in that game an equal amount of time to get past that game. So it's like, I can't give Tom those first two. The third one we can actually have a debate about. However, the third one they still had guys like Mike Vrabel, Teddy Bruschi, Rodney Harrison, Ty Law. The list goes on and on and on. Teddy Bruschi. The list goes on and on and on with that defense. So it's like, how even Tom wouldn't say it was all me. And a lot, oh, he's just being nice. No, he understands this game. He knows he don't he knows that he needed those guys, especially those first two. After that, yeah, I mean, all right, now what I say to close though, do they win those Super Bowls? Even those first two, do they win those without Tom? I would say probably not. I would honestly sit here and say that with a straight face. They probably don't win it because he was the one that led them on final drives where it was very, very crucial, very important, and got them in field goal range to go ahead and win that and win those games. And in those moments, he was very much the Tom Brady that we know and love.
I guess
So I want to say all Tom is crazy. Those first two, I would say 70-30 defense and Bill, Belichick, 30% Tom in those first two. And then everything after that, yeah,
you
Tom's
said
percentage starts to
30%.
increase.
You said
In those
30%.
first two Super Bowls, I give
Oh, the
credit, and
first
that's
two. The first two.
and
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going out and I'm just being modest,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
giving him 30% of the reason why they won those first two. After that, yeah, the percentage, you could put it at 50-50, you could put it at 60-40 in favor of Tom. You could do whatever you want. But to say all him is crazy when you consider Darrell Reeves on that other wave of great talent. Darrell Reeves, the twins, what's the twins' names?
The
Forget their
Pouncey.
twins.
Oh no.
McCourty brothers. You
Yeah.
had Darrell Reeves. You had so many dudes on that defense that their names is not Jodu or Judah or something like that. It's just so many great players on that defense that they had that year. Also, Ty Nation, all Tom, or 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 no.
What are you saying all time for what?
When he was on
All
New England.
the six Super Bowls that he won in New England, was it all him?
No, no. Um,
So
I
why do
think
we
you
got
ran.
NFL
I feel like you.
players that
I
were
feel like you
on
ran it.
we got players that wasn't on that roster and players that was on a lot of those championship rosters saying all time? What are we missing?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think from a probably a leadership standpoint, they could probably attest that Tom was leading the team, being vocal and all of the things and raising the expectation and the play of other people. But I think ultimately we don't think that Bill Belichick is just a phenomenal coach just for no reason. Like it's
But there's
clearly a
guys
reason.
that don't think that. I'm certainly one of those guys that knows that for a fact.
Yeah.
But there's guys that don't think that.
Yeah. I mean, I just think, and then I also think ultimately, like, there's people that have left the Patriots organization that just are not fond of Bill Belichick. And I think that can also be another, just another thing when people are talking, they just feel like
That's what it
I'm
is
just
too.
not like I don't like Bill Belichick, so I'm gonna give the credit to the guy that I feel like I like. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's part of it as well. So but ultimately I think it's both. Like I don't think that you have six Super Bowls without one or the other. I think they
Thank
both
you.
have it. Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Dare I say I don't think they have one. Like without Tom, I don't think Bill ever wins. Without Bill, I don't think Tom ever wins in New England.
I think a good question to ask though is,
Let's get your point first, Gary.
yeah. The question's weird because I don't think they're, and I don't know how people could say that. It obviously wasn't all Tom, and I'm pro Tom Brady when it comes to like Bill Belichick
And yes, you are. So
yeah.
I appreciate you saying that.
That's just I think it's a little silly of a question, but to me it's more like who
Well, you
needed
would think
who
it's a silly question, but
who
you got NFL players that played for that program saying otherwise. So it's not
so
a
I'm
silly
I'm gonna
question.
say I'm gonna kind of redirect the question and like who to me it's who needed the other more. That's how I like to think about it. And I think in the early years, like you said, King, Tom needed Bill. Tom needed Bill to become the player he was. But I think he became that player a lot quicker than you think. So I would say after those first two Super Bowls, everything
After that,
everything was
after
him. I'm gonna say everything was him, and I'm gonna say this because, to me, it's as simple as this. Tom Brady went elsewhere and won a ring, and Bill Belichick can't win a playoff game. I know it's still soon, but like, I need to see something from that Patriots organization the rest of the way for me to like.
people underestimate and that's what kills me the most.
That's tough.
I,
That's tough.
I love Tom. I love what Tom did when he left and won a Super Bowl right away. I absolutely give him his flowers for that. But what we forget is the fact, like the situation Tom went into. He went into a situation with a
I understand,
innovative
but at 40 years
people.
old,
You talk about Bruce Arians, Todd Bowles, Devin White, Levante David, what's his name? JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul, Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, like the secondary was crazy. Edwards, it was a good secondary also. And they had a couple other one other piece, huge piece on that defense that I'm forgetting right now. And so it's just like
it was definitely a good situation.
We all witnessed what they did to Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl.
Hey, listen,
we
listen.
act like so let's
Listen, it's the best wide receivers Brady ever played with. It's the best wide receivers Brady ever played with. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, the best receivers besides Randy Moss, obviously. Besides Randy Moss. So I get he went to a good situation, but there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league that have great situations and can't win a ring. So I'm not gonna sit here. Look at Aaron Rodgers and the situations he had. He got to play with Davante Adams most of his career and could not even get back into a Super Bowl. So for you to go to another team, learn a new system, and win it your first year, like no one's done that. No one has done that besides Tom Brady. So like I know it's easy.
He really didn't have to learn a new. He was still. They did not.
New faces, new chemistry, whatever it is.
They did not take his game away from him.
It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, new chemistry with the wide receivers. He had an off season to get fully committed to this new style of offense that he was playing. He had total control of that offense.
New style of offense. They did not take his game away from him. You got to stop saying that.
They were
still Tom Brady.
Whoa! No, on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he was free to fling that shit around, bro. No, they were not playing.
Year two and year three, he was flinging the football around. Year one, he was the same Tom that we always known him to be. If you remember, those first 8 weeks, they went into the bye. The first 12 weeks, excuse me. They went into the bye 6-6. They came out of that bye a brand new offense. That offense was like, all right, we're done. We're done with these. We're done with these, elaborate plays. We're done with these, deep down the field reads. We're done trying to be cute. We're done trying to be. And they got right back to playing. And that's when Leonard Fournette started getting like 8 to 12 receptions per game. That's when he started actually doing things that we knew Tom to always do, and they didn't lose since moving from that point on. So let's not act like he had to change. He changed his game and he could do all things out there on the football field. Let's keep into perspective the player that Tom is. Even though I give him his flowers, he is a certain type of football player though, and to go outside of that is not in his best interest.
Listen, I disagree with a lot of that.
Okay.
But I to me, in my opinion, I just need to see. I think it was more like for the career between them. I think it was like 75-25 Brady. And until I could see Bill Belichick get into the playoffs and make some noise, maybe win a few games or do something to show me you don't need Tom Brady, that's how I'm gonna feel. So
Yo, and let's be clear. All he got to do is if Bill somehow wins one more Super, that's all it takes.
it's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
I'm just saying that's all it would have to take because that's
I agree. I agree, but I don't think it's gonna
win
happen. I just, in my opinion, I just don't
one.
think it's gonna happen.
And if Bill wins one without Tom, it's nothing.
I will. Yeah, I will totally regret my digress my statement for sure. But I personally don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay.
So.
Moving on. Any last thing, Nation, on that?
Nah, I don't know what I came into, but you know what I'm saying. I love it. I love the energy tonight.
It's actually a perfect time.
I wish you was here when we talked about the boulders, man. When we talked about the buffs, man. I wish you was here on that, but
we got the old school, new school next. So KG versus Kevin Mchale.
KG versus.
I'm gonna let y'all take the reign on this. Let's go.
I want Ty. You ready? Can you go?
Yeah, but give me just two minutes, and I want one of y'all to go first because I gotta just look one piece of information up.
I'll hold on that topic then. We'll do that next. I'll go to the next topic because I want to kind of run through this one. This isn't that long, so it's perfect. So the FIBA is still going on. USA actually got a loss. They lost to Lithuania. It was a very bad loss. They were heavy favorites in that game. They fell to 4-1. They still made bracket play. They will play Italy in bracket play. I think that game is tomorrow. So bracket play final 16 of FIBA is next week. So are you paying attention to this, King? Like, is this a thing? Like, do people care? Like, what do you think's going on there? Do you think it was the last game because it was the last game, maybe, and they already knew they advanced? You think they maybe didn't really care about the last game?
The last FIBA team that I watched was it was Steph Curry, Derrick Rose. It was like Kenneth Walker. It was like Kenneth Walker. It was not Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Fareed. It was a very fun squad to watch. And that was the last FIBA team I watched because that roster was so fun. It was the secondary roster because the main roster, obviously, or the Olympics roster was, that year was, the LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, like top names in the league. But that FIBA team was with Steph Curry, Derrick Rose, and a couple other names. And that was the last FIBA team that I watched super, super closely, super, super tightly. This roster just didn't bring me home for some reason. And I'm going to start to watch now that they're in bracket play, honestly. But what we said on our last show, I didn't think this roster was that amazing. Look, it's only one loss. I know they're 4-1. They made bracket play. From here on out, anything happens. But to me, this roster doesn't scream, FIBA world title in the bag. It just doesn't scream that at all. Like
they're minus 400 to win FIBA. That's 4-1. So, but no, yeah.
But what I'm saying, a loss like what they had just
not
shows,
surprising.
Exactly. Because the roster with this roster, they'll be favored in every single game that they play in. Like just because of just based on name, based on roster, based on what's on paper, they should be favored in every game, and they should have that favor. But when you talk about having to come together as a team, you know, when you got these other countries who are more, more integrated, more aligned, more intact, more locked in as a country playing for their country, I don't know if they have the continuity Team USA to win the whole thing. And I just wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. But I'm going to watch. I'm going to support. Definitely going to watch the bracket play for sure. Nation? Anything?
No, I agree with you. No, I agree with you. Yeah, the roster doesn't scream like, oh yeah, that they just automatically is winning everything. But I do like the way that they are like these young guys, the next generation of the NBA. They are starting to lead off. I like the way that they're playing, but I mean they're young, but they're talent wise. The rest of the world, I feel like has caught up at a certain point. So any given night, like I think they literally have to come to play every single game. I don't think that it's just like, oh, we can. They are not like the 2008 Olympic team where they can just like lace up their sneakers and just walk on the floor and beat somebody by 50. Like they just not that type of a talent. It's just not that high. So they got to come ready to play.
Quick thing. I kind of I agree with you, King. I think it also might have been because it was the last game. I think maybe they just had to let up. When it's gonna be time to now it's elimination games. Like I think we're gonna see them play a little bit better. I still expect them to win it, but I don't even think they got the first seed because of that loss though. So Lito, they got destroyed by Nikola Vucevic, man. But all right. Now we can get on to that topic. I'll skip. We can go back to the old school versus new school here. You want to
need
start
more
with that,
time,
King?
Ty? Yeah.
I'm gonna let you too, because I'm not. I don't really know much about Kevin McHale, so this is all you guys.
I'm ready, and I wish we had a old head here.
Yeah, I do wish Batman was here
to try me today, just to try, because I'm not biased. That's one of the problems with the old school dudes. They get a little biased, they get emotional, they get in their feelings, and they just stick with their guys, man. And so I came over. I said Larry Bird over KD. I went and I genuinely felt CP over John Stockton. This one here, let's talk about it, man.
Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie. What I got for this one, I got KG over Kevin McHale.
Oh, thank God.
I got KG over Kevin McHale.
We got two agreements here.
And I will say that it is obviously Kevin McHale has 3 rings to KG's 1, and I get it, I get it. But I will say, just my argument for Kevin Garnett coming out of high school, he averaged 17 points when he came out of high school. That is just different. There's not so many guys that just, when they get drafted out of high school, play at that type of a level. And he's just one of those guys that came into the league versus grown men, especially at the time that he came into the league. It's grown men, and he was still able to get off. So for me, I'm like, Kevin Garnett was just like, he was just a very, very, very good player. And I feel like even his teams in Minnesota were not that great, and he was still getting them to the playoffs. Like, I just think he just did more for his team than Kevin McHale did. Kevin McHale won his rookie year. Like, they won a championship his rookie year. Larry Bird averaging 21. Robert Parrish is averaging 15 and 10. Like, Kevin McHale walked into a dynasty type of a team. So I just feel like like it wasn't like he had to put the book bag on at any given time during his career. Like, he literally had a Superman on his team. And I don't feel like Kevin Garnett really had that. Maybe until he got to Boston, we think about Paul Pierce and what he was doing. But Kevin Garnett was definitely anchoring that defense and still very, very efficient on the offensive end. So I think as a career for me, I gotta go KG. And just his impact in general. I feel like he's just a dog. He's a dog.
And it's not even close. It's no disrespect to Kevin McHale. No disrespect to Kevin McHale. One of my favorite what's the name? Olympics USA teams was that team with KG, Vince Carter, Allen Iverson.
That was a fun team.
I want to say was on that team. Let me see. Check this team out, man. They had Ray Allen, Vince Carter, KG, Tim Hardaway, Allen Houston, who was one of my favorite Knicks, Jason Kidd, Alonzo Mourning, Gary Payton, like Steve Smith. Like, that was one of my favorite Olympic teams to watch, man. And to watch what he was doing in you had one of the practices where they had like a full court one-on-one drill. And, person who makes it stays on. If you miss, you come off and you keep the one-on-one full court drill going. And KG, when I said he scored like anywhere from like 10 to 15 straight times, like dudes on the roster just coming in one after on the USA roster, coming in one after another, and he just straight cooking them in this one-on-one full court drill, just but off not because of side, like just straight like mid-range, boom, threes, boom, back downs, post fades, boom, like this, like when you think of the skill set of KG, and he don't like to be recognized as 7 feet. He always say 6'11" and 3/4. 7-footer, putting the ball on the floor, able to score from the perimeter, able to score from the post, had the post fade, had the catch and shoot mid-range, had the catch and shoot three, had the athleticism, had the rebounding, had the paint presence. Like, he had he was a complete power forward. I'm one of those guys that's under the notion that just take it. Look, this is going to get a lot of people like to, push a lot of little buttons. I'm one of those guys that you take Tim Duncan, just take Timmy off that roster and just put the other power forward. I know Tim is the greatest power forward we ever watched. I agree with that. It is what it is. He got 5 rings with Pop. Cool. Take Timmy off that roster, put the other power forward KG on that roster with Pop. I don't see no difference. I don't see KG with the Admiral, I think wins a title. Todd just speaks on it. Straight out of high school, KG was a dog. There's nothing that tells me that with the Admiral, he wouldn't have won a chip as well. Then it took a couple more years just for Tim to start winning chips again after he got Tony and Manu. I don't see how with Tony and Manu and Greg Pop running that offense, KG don't win world titles as a Spur. I don't see it not being the case. Maybe because of personality, maybe Tim Duncan is a different type of personality that would work for, Greg Pop and all that. Sounds great, cool. I'm just saying, I don't see any difference, any different outcome. Just me. I think KG is that cerebral of a talent, a legendary power forward. And when you compare, just compare both Hall of Famers, yes. Kevin McHale, 7-time All-Star. KG, 15-time All-Star. Kevin McHale, yes, 3-time champ. Yes, first year he won a chip. Do we know how much he averaged in that playoffs? 8.5 points and 1.8 and 3.5 rebounds. Like, let's understand what Todd, to piggyback off Todd, let's understand what Todd Nation was saying. He came into a dynasty. he walked into Larry Legend and Robert Parrish. Like Larry Legend and Robert Parrish. Right? He started to get his footing and become great in his own right as time went on. First ring, 8.5 and 3.5 8.5 points, 3.5 rebounds in his first ring. Second ring, 14.8 points in that playoff, 6.2 rebounds per game for his second ring. So for the third ring, yes, 25 points per game, 9 rebounds per game. He was a dog in that run. But we gotta temper those 3 rings he got versus KG's 1. The KG's first, what was it? How many years? Because he was being so freaking loyal to Minnesota. He was in Minnesota 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 years. KG was in Minnesota because he wanted to be loyal, faithful. He wanted to do it the Gator way.
Yeah.
He wanted to do it the
Tell him.
Gator way. And what happened to him?
I don't
Spent
know.
all those valuable, great years for Minnesota, and he didn't get to Boston until he was 31 years old. And what happens? First year with a formidable team, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and KG. First year wins the world title. You mean to tell me, all that tells me is, as a 31-year-old, mind you, all that tells me is give him a formidable team when he was actually in his prime in Minnesota. He's winning. You see the way he played, the way he approached the game. That's how champions approach the game. You can't tell me he's one of those guys. There's always a few guys that don't got a ring that you could tell, right, Ty Nation? I think you could attest to this, that you could tell the ones that don't have a ring, and you could say, nah, he was a champion, though. Like, he was a champion. There's dudes that don't have a ring, and you like, nah, like Tracy, I love Tracy McGrady. He was one of my favorite players to ever play. Watch. It's like, he wasn't a champion. I'm sorry, like, he just wasn't a champion. Skill and talent is not the only things required to be the last team standing. He didn't embody those things that is necessary to be the last team standing. And it's guys like a KG, had he never won, nobody would have ever questioned if he had a formidable team. If he stayed with Minnesota, nobody would have ever questioned if he had a formidable team, would he have actually been a champion? First year, gets a formidable team, wins a title. So that 3-1 chip thing, KG versus, Mchale, is a little funny to me. Kevin Mchale, 1-time All-NBA. 1 time. KG, 9-time All-NBA. Kevin
McCabe. Yeah. I mean, just to jump in with you, bro. I mean, I think ultimately KG, you could say for the majority of his career was a number 1 option. I cannot say Kevin Mchale was a number 1 option on that team. And for a good amount of his career wasn't a number 2 option because, you know what I'm saying, Robert Parrish was there and he was getting busy as well. So I just feel like this comparison is probably a little like it's probably more one-sided than you would just see maybe on paper if you're just sitting there looking at like championships. Like for me, if we're looking for player, the clear-cut answer is Kevin Garnett. Like there is no question because he is literally just a better player, and he can he's just a better player. Like you talking about MVP in 2000, 2002, 2003, like you're talking about a two-time defensive player of the year. Like he is just a force as a basketball player. And he did it when he came out of high school, which is just like to me is just the craziest thing when I think about a player. Because I look at players right now in high school and I'm like, there's not a player that I can see right now that can go into a NBA environment and dominate and give you 17 and 10 as a rookie, as an 18-year-old. Like I just don't see it, and it just doesn't happen as as often. There's just a limited amount of players that can go from the transition from high school to the NBA, and then you play 82 games and you average 17 points. It's different. It's different.
Absolutely. No, 100. Like I second everything you said. Last thing I was going to say was just the 1 league MVP, 2 Kevin Mchale's none. and also was going to say defensive player of the year. Kevin Mchale has no defensive player of the years. 12-time all defensive team to Kevin Mchale's 6 all-time defense. So I mean, he had everything. He had everything. He was great. He was a phenomenal player, and that's why it's just like I was ready for old school in this one. And trust me, when the comments come on social medias, I'm looking forward to seeing what people say. But definitely going to be the big ticket for me. Even though Kevin Mchale, obviously Hall of Fame, a great player.
Okay.
Thank you, Nation, for your insight. Thank you.
Hey,
We
next.
getting into these predictions now, right? Or
Yes,
let's
sir. This is it. This is it. So yeah, we on
we got what is it, Gator, that we have showing now?
I'm about to put that on screen. Yeah. We're gonna put our predictions on screen. Nothing really, just a nice little graphic so people can follow along.
Got a graphic up.
So yeah, I'm gonna put that on the screen here in a sec. And who wants to start? Who wants to start with their predictions first, man? You want to start, King?
Have at it.
How about you, King? You want to start?
You want me to start?
Yeah, because you got the interesting division winners here. So, this is how I'm gonna do it. AFC East winner, who you got?
AFC East winner. I'm
Final predictions. This is it. This is it, King. There's no more changing. This is it. This is who you got.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not switching up at all. I'm not switching up at all. I'm gonna go with Bills, AFC East champions. Bills.
Okay, AFC West. You're sticking with the Broncos?
Let's all go simultaneously. You want to go?
No, I can't. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Because we don't have to go back and revisit. We could just
we will. Go. No, we going to. I want to hear everybody out.
Let's
have fun with this. Let's have fun
how you want to, Gator. We'll do it how you want to. AFC West, in light of Jerry Jeudy getting hurt, in light of because I was really banking on his explosiveness for the Broncos to be able to actually score points. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stick with my answer and get the Broncos to win the AFC West over the Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers, man. Sticking with my answer, Broncos, AFC
All right,
West
AFC North, let's go. AFC North.
AFC North. I'm sticking with I'm sticking with the Ravens. I'm sticking with the Ravens on that.
And
they're gonna clean that up. They're gonna clean that up. AFC South.
You said the Jags, I believe.
People sleeping on the Titans. And they're tripping.
Titans or Jags?
Jaguars know how to win football games. I'm gonna go Jags.
Okay, so now rank those four. Bills, seeding wise, 1 through 4. Bills, Broncos, Ravens, Jags.
Bills, Ravens, Jags, Broncos.
Okay.
Bills, Ravens.
Yeah. Bills, Broncos, Ravens, Jags, Broncos.
Bills, Ravens, Jags. Bills, Ravens, Jags, Broncos. Yeah.
All right, now three wild card teams. Who makes the playoffs in the AFC? Have fun with that. Yeah, have fun with that.
Give me Steelers. Steelers is getting in. I don't care. All these other names that I'm seeing here, I don't care. Steelers is getting in there. Ooh, you got the graphics up with my predictions on them?
Yes.
Gators getting fancy.
That's why I can only do it one at a time.
We growing, baby. I'm getting Steelers in there. And then these are Kings Bradley's predictions, man. And from now on, I'm gonna be on the Discord under my name, King Bradley. But look, these are King Bradley's predictions, man.
Can I put it over you so we know it's yours? like that.
That's all right.
Just for
Hey,
now.
that's all right.
Oh, we put it right in the corner.
That's all right. Yeah, you could do your thing. Have fun with that. Kansas City Chiefs is in there. And so we need 2 more, right?
Yes, sir. No, one more. One more. You got room for one more.
It's only one. I thought it was. Isn't it 7 teams that make it?
Yeah, you're at 6 right now.
Oh, I got 6. Sheesh. It's no way the Jets don't make it, right? Like,
The AFC's
like
crazy. You got the Dolphins there too, and the Chargers, and the Bengals. What are you doing? Good luck. Good luck. You gotta take the Steelers out, man.
no, I don't. I'm sticking with the Steelers in there. You know who to give me? Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets.
Okay, NFC.
Bengals don't make the playoffs this year.
NFC East.
Hold on, can we Bengals don't?
We just don't have time.
Said it here
I know,
first.
we just don't have
I
time.
said it here first. Bengals don't make the playoffs this year. Don't sleep. I really wanted to go Bill Belichick. I really wanted to put Bill in there. I'm sorry, Nation. I wanted to put Bill in there. That's what I was. That's where it was at for me. It was either the Jets or the Patriots. It's just man, this is just way too competitive. It's insane.
The AFC is insane.
Okay,
It's
NFC.
you left out the Bengals. You saying the
yeah.
Bengals are not making the playoffs?
Making the
Like
playoffs.
that's
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. NFC West now. What are we doing? NFC West?
East. NFC East.
NFC East? Okay. I'm going with in the NFC East, the number 1 football team in that division will be the Cowboys. I'm just gonna go out and just
You're
say
changing, huh? I think you said
And
Eagles
just say it.
first. I think you said Eagles back in the day.
I don't think so.
Okay, West.
I don't think so. Check the tape.
West.
The tape. West. I'm sticking with my pick. I'm going Seahawks. Sticking with my Seahawks in the
North.
NFC West. NFC North. I'm sticking. Ooh, this the top. I went with the Packers last time.
No, I think you went Lions. I think you went Lions.
I want to say I went. Oh no, I said Packers to be second.
Yeah.
And Minnesota to be third. I'm going to stick with the Lions. And
the South.
I'm going to stick with the Lions. And in the South, man, this is tough. I'm gonna go with those mother love. Nah, I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Rank those. That is an ugly looking NFL NFC playoff prediction. Just by the way, rank those 4 now. Seeding.
Dallas, Lions, Saints, Seahawks.
Now the 3 NFC teams, the 3 NFC wildcard teams. I put one in there already. I put one in there already for you.
We're yeah, put the 49ers there. For sure, yeah. Put the Eagles there.
And one more. The last one's fun.
And put the New York
Football Giants.
That in the playoffs last year was not a fluke.
Okay, now we get into the nitty-gritty. Out of those 7 teams in the AFC, pick your AFC champion, King.
The AFC champions this year is going to be none other
than the Baltimore.
Oh, I don't want to do this. I just got to be okay. Let me tell the people who I'm cheering for first. I'm cheering for it to be the Ravens. Just so disclaimer, let's put that out there. Because I want to keep my analytical hat on, it's going to be the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills come out the AFC this year.
We moving them down to the AFC champions. And who you got coming out of the NFC?
America's football team.
Wow.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Wow,
It's gonna
Dallas
be
versus
the
Buffalo.
Buffalo Bills versus the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL Super Bowl this year. That's gonna be a beautiful thing, and that's a fire. First of all,
And
that's a fire
I don't got a
matchup.
graphic for this, but who
That's a
is
fire
winning
matchup.
that game?
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Woo! Let me stop. Hold on. I said that way too quick.
Yeah, you did. You kind of did.
I love the Dallas defense. They're gonna come up short though. Give me Buffalo to win the Super Bowl this year. Give
Buffalo,
me
just
Buffalo.
so everybody knows, that's King's Super Bowl prediction this year.
Take
That's
a picture
his. Yeah, take a picture, take a screenshot before I reset this.
and post it for everyone to see. Ty Nation, you up, baby. Put your predictions out there on social media so that the receipts is going nowhere this season.
So we'll do it the same way. I think that was a good way to do it. AFC
Absolutely.
East, who you got? Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, Jets. Who's winning the East?
I got the Bills. I got the Bills. As much as I love Bill Belichick and our Patriots, yeah, nah. I'm gonna go Bills. I
All
got
right.
Bills. I got Bills.
The North, Bengals, Ravens. Help me out, King. Steelers,
Ravens, Steelers, Browns.
Browns.
Show you.
AFC North. AFC North. I'm going with LJ Lamar Jackson.
Okay, so
Ooh.
far you guys are spot on with your predictions.
Mhm.
AFC, we'll go AFC West.
AFC West.
Don't be
I
like
am
King.
going.
Yeah, don't be
I
like
am
King.
going with Patrick
And
Mahomes.
I thought he
then
was gonna throw a little
lastly,
nugget out there.
AFC South.
AFC South. I am going with the Tennessee Titans and King Henry.
King Henry.
I
I
like
love
it.
that pick. I wanted to go there so bad, bro. I can't lie to you, but I think the Jags is hot right now.
Now rank them. Rank those four in seeding.
I'm gonna go Bills 1. I'm gonna go Chiefs 2.
Ooh, Chiefs
Uh,
second in the AFC this year.
I'm gonna go Chiefs 2. I'm gonna go Baltimore 3 and Titans 4.
Okay, now three other teams to get into the AFC, the wild cards. Who you got? It's so tough. The AFC is stacked. Give me three names though.
I'm gonna go. Oh man, this is tough.
It's very
I'm gonna
tough.
go. I'm gonna go New England.
Wow. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm gonna go New England. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh.
Please, somebody put the
Oh,
Bengals in there. Please, like.
And I am going to
oh.
go. And I am going to go to the Los Angeles Chargers.
What
Why does
the?
everybody in our besides me hate the Bengals? You guys hate the Bengals.
I don't hate them.
They might be my
Look,
Super Bowl pick.
I don't hate nobody. Disclaimer.
All right, so we go into NFC. We'll go to
Wait, let's
NFC
see.
East.
Wait, who was left off?
Hey,
Who was
what's
left
up?
off?
He
It
did
was
not
the
put
Bengals,
he did not put the
the
he did
Jets.
not put the
The
Jets
don't make the playoffs this year.
or the Dolphins
You
or the
gotta-
Bengals.
Yo, nah. All of our predictions, Gator gotta go
I
on
got
social
you.
media.
Yeah, I got you. Maybe
Got
the next I'll have to do that this week.
It's gonna be like 6 clips because
It
you
has
gotta
to
get
be
the
this
clips
week.
of
Yeah.
where
I might just do all the predictions in one day. I might just do all the predictions in one
Hey,
day.
it's
you gotta put the
I'll do it
clips-
Wednesday.
You gotta put the clips of the AFC, NFC. So it's gonna be 2 clips per head
Yeah.
right here because it's gonna be 6 total clips all on social media. The world gotta see it.
No, just three. Just our predictions and then everyone's predictions.
hey, I ain't gonna lie though. In the AFC East, Buffalo, New England, and the Jets have 3 of the hardest schedules in the NFL.
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. So I'll give you one last chance to switch those. You're leaving out the Dolphins, the Bengals, and the Dolphins, Bengals, and Jets. You're leaving out. Is that right? Yo, King, I can hear myself.
Can you?
I think I'm a. Oh man, this is hard.
This is being screenshotted. Like, we're going to go back to this at the end of the year. So I just want to make sure you are 100% confident.
I'm gonna still go with the Patriots. I'm gonna stick with my team.
Okay. And now NFC East.
NFC East. Man, I'm going Philly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I ain't jacking the Cowgirls.
NFC North. All right, yeah, let's go North.
I'm going Detroit. Detroit.
Basketball.
I'm going with Detroit.
NFC South.
The South. Oh man, I'm gonna go to Saints. I'm gonna go to Saints.
And the West.
Uh, I'm gonna go 49ers.
And 3 other teams. Oh, let's rank
Uh,
those 4. Let's rank those 4 for seeding.
uh,
Eagles, Lions, Saints, Niners.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Philly 1, Niners 2, Detroit 3, and Saints 4.
Okay, give me 3 other names for the wild card. And try to do it in order too, like based on seeding.
Yeah, I'll go.
So 5, 6,
I'll
7.
go. I'm gonna go Dallas. I'll go
Okay.
Dallas. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Minnesota.
I like that. I definitely like your predictions better, except for that AFC. That AFC was crazy. But the NFC is looking very good.
I'm gonna go Minnesota, and then I'm gonna go. Oh man, I'm gonna be honest. I think Seattle is going to slide in that last spot.
That's fair. They made it last year. They got better in the offseason. I like that.
I think they're going to do
Okay. So out of those 7 AFC teams, who is going to the Super Bowl? You are not allowed to say New England.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go Buff. Oh, I'm gonna go Baltimore. I'm gonna go Baltimore.
He went there. I didn't have the guts. I didn't have the guts.
I'm gonna go Baltimore, and then I'm gonna go. They're gonna play against the 49ers.
My Niners. A rematch of Super Bowl when the lights went out. Who is the Super Bowl champ, Ty Nation?
Lamar Jackson will get his first Super Bowl ring.
Let's go.
LJ's gonna get number 1, yo.
Lot of flop. I love it. I love the prediction. You know, I have no rebuttals against that prediction. We all know how
I'm gonna leave
much.
this graphic on the screen for a little bit
Go
here.
ahead, Gator. Go ahead, Gator. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna run through mine. I know I got it like locked down right now. To be honest, the AFC might be a little funny, but okay. So I got the Bills winning the East. I got the Chiefs winning the West. I got the Jags winning the South. And I got the Bengals winning the North. I don't know what everybody is thinking, leaving them out of the playoffs, but they will be in the playoffs. Whether they win the division or not, they will be in the playoffs.
Safe.
I got the Chiefs as the
Safe
number
is
1
never good
seed.
in NFL predictions.
I
Safe
got the
is never
Chiefs.
good.
I got the Chiefs at the number 1 seed. I got the Bengals at the 2 seed.
Wow.
I got the Jags as the 3 seed and the Bills as the 4. That AFC East is very, very competitive. I think the Bills do win the division, but it's going to affect their record a little bit. So I got them at 4th. I got the Jags they got better, and I think they run through the South. They could finish the 2 seed just based off their schedule, but I'll put them at 3 because I just think the Bengals are a little bit better. Okay.
I like that.
Now, This is where it gets interesting.
No, it don't. You went safe, so you ain't nothing else.
There's a lot of there is a lot of
You went safe with the divisional winner, so it made this a little easier for you.
I'm gonna put the Jets at the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
These politically correct predictions.
I got the Chargers at 6.
Wow. Okay. Got the Chargers making the playoffs. I dare you leave Flock Nation out of these playoffs. I double dare. I triple dare you leave
It's
Flock
tough.
Nation out
It's
of these
between
playoffs.
the Dolphins and the Ravens. You
I
know,
dare you put. I
I'm
dare.
gonna go a little bit out of what my comfort zone here. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7.
Wow, we all got the Steelers in the
I think
playoffs.
their defense is too good. NFC, I got the Niners winning the division. I got Dallas winning the division, wherever they are. I got the Saints, and I got the the Lions. Wild card. I got the Eagles at the 5. Then I got Seattle at the 6. Oh no, I'm tripping. I got the Vikings at the 6, and the Falcons gonna squeeze in there at the 7th.
See, I knew you were still a Falcons fan. You try to
That's
act
not why.
like
That's not why.
try to
That's not
act like
why.
you're not a Falcons
That's
fan.
not why,
You
King.
try
That's
to
not
act
why.
like you're not a Falcons fan still, and it's just that slither of Falcon flesh just had to creep and seep in to get to your final answer.
Yo, but no, that's not why. And for my Super Bowl, I didn't rank so I got the Niners at the 1. I didn't talk about this. I got the Niners at the 1. I have the Saints as the 2 seed in the NFC. I think the NFC East is going to beat each other up, and I think the winner of that I would think the winner, whether it's the Eagles or Dallas, I think the winner of that division is going to have some losses just because of how badly they are going to the NFC East has a tough schedule this year, all the teams. There's a stint that the Eagles have back to 5 games in a row. They play Dallas twice. They play the Bills, they play the Chiefs, and the Niners. 5 games in a row. Dallas twice, Niners, Bills, Chiefs. That's tough. So
Jalen Hurts is built for it.
Built for it, but let's say they go 3-2. That's 2 losses already on their schedule. Let's say they win.
I like your Saints number 2 overall.
The weak division. I think they run through it. I think they finish with like 12 wins. I really do. So that's how I got the rankings. But I got the Niners as my NFC champion. It has to be now. It has to be now for them. It just got to be. It has to be. Especially with the contract situation, their salary going forward. It has to be within the next couple of years. And I think they got the team to do it this year as long as they can stay healthy. And I got the Cincinnati Bengals return. The ones that you guys left out. The ones that y'all left out.
Bengals ain't going, bro.
The one that everybody left out, and I really don't want to seem biased here. So I'm going to take the Bengals. I think the Bengals are the Super Bowl champions here. I hope it's the Niners. I hope. I really hope, because it has to be one of these next few years. But I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals are the best team of football. I think they could have won the Super Bowl last year and the year prior. A player or two that didn't go their way. No, let's be honest. In the Super Bowl, Super Bowl against the Rams, a player or two goes their way, they're Super Bowl champions. A play or two against the Chiefs last year, they might be Super Bowl champions. They're there. They're on the precipice. Like, they're the team. They've been the most consistent team besides the Chiefs in the AFC the last couple years. Why do I think that's going to be any different?
I just feel like this Joe Burrow calf strain is going to get the Bengals off to a slow start. You got the Browns week 1 against their daunting.
But we know in the NFL, King, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We all know that.
Oh, I'm just saying.
We know that the teams that get hot.
I see a path to the Bengals not being in the playoffs this year. I see it.
They're gonna make the playoffs, but if you want to leave them out of your, so you guys both have Buffalo though. None of us took the Chiefs. That's kind of disrespectful, right?
I think this is Buffalo's year. I just think this is Buffalo's year.
I hope. I really like the Bills. If I had one team to root for in the AFC, I would want to see the Bills make it. That's the team I would root for in the AFC. I just think Joe Burrow got their number. The Bengals have their number. We'll see. Yeah. That's the predictions, and now we on to the last topic for the night. Actually, let's just throw this in there, because we got a little time. Let me get this graphics off. We got a little time. Sleeper team for the Super Bowl. What's your sleeper team? I'll go first. I think it's the Saints. I think out of all the teams in the NFC, they have the easiest schedule. They can, if based on my standards, I got them as the 2 seed. They can get home field, kind of avoid those tough divisional round matchups. Maybe I'd see them get into an NFC. If they only got to win one game to get to an NFC championship, you say it all the time, King. It is one game. The NFC championship is one game. Anything can happen. I think they could squeak in somehow. Sleeper team, King. Tough.
Sleeper team to get to the big dance. Ty, do you have a sleeper team to get to the big dance?
Everybody got a sleeper team.
His sleeper team gonna be the Patriots, what?
My sleeper team is gonna be I don't know yet. Let me think about that.
Okay. Are you out enjoying dinner?
No, I'm getting some work done.
Oh, I thought it seemed like you was in a restaurant. I was about to definitely use that as a what do you call it? Like a way to promote, you know.
You're still getting work.
I'm in a ice cream shop. It's kind of like a coffee and ice cream little bar.
So I could promote. Beautiful. Ty Nation, thank you for joining us from the ice cream shop. We're outside of your home. Beautiful.
He's still in the show, making his playoff predictions, man.
So Ty Nation joined the show from the ice cream shop, from outside of his home, on his device. That is what the show is for us to understand that we can be remote. We can talk sports and engage in sports topics with the sports world remotely from anywhere. If big things happens in sports, guess what? You could be a part of the conversations that transpires thereafter, shortly thereafter. So come on to the show from anywhere you are. Under Big Dog CEO. Anyway, sleeper team. Ty Nation said he's not ready to give his sleeper team. Sleeper team to make it to the big dance.
My sleeper team is Detroit.
Detroit? I like it. I like it.
That's great.
What about you, King?
It's a great pick, man. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Is it possible that I could make a sleeper pick that's a team that I didn't have?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Is that fair? Oh, that's fair?
Yeah, I think it's fair. It's a sleeper team for a reason. Like, you might have them out of the playoffs, but you never know. They could make a run.
Okay, if that's fair, cool copy. I'm going to go that direction. and I'm gonna go to Los Angeles Chargers. I think with Derwin James, Jalen Ramsey, excuse me, not the Los Angeles, not the Los Angeles Chargers, the Miami Dolphins. I think with Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, um, Bradley Chubb, the rest of the cast that they have on that defensive side, the explosiveness on offense. They're definitely a regular season football team. I didn't have them in there because I don't trust their grit. I gotta see what their grit looks like, especially defensively. And then God willing, Tua stays healthy. If Tua could stay healthy, God willing, and I could see some fight, some grit out of that defense that I didn't see last year, I definitely see Miami Dolphins winding up in a Super Bowl game with that offense being as explosive and dominant as it is.
Fair enough. And we on to our last topic of the night.
Had a
We got
great time.
football on Thursday.
Oh, what's going on in that college game right now? Who's winning that?
7-6. It's Clemson. Clemson's up. They can't move the ball
Yikes.
against Duke. Everyone's talking about, oh, Clemson back. No, they not. But yeah, we got football on Thursday. Last topic of the night. Let's preview that game, man. Chris Jones might not play. Well, it looks like he's not playing. He's holding out still. Travis Kelce begging him to come back. I mean, what's this looking like? Is there an upset brewing? Is there an upset brewing?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm going with the upset.
Week 1 upset?
I'm doing it. I'm taking it there. I'm taking it there with every vertebra in my body. I'm taking it there. Because not only do they not have Chris Jones, there's another pickup that the Chiefs got. I want to say, oh man, I want to get this name so bad. It's a phenomenal player that they also have either on the line or is it Dion? I don't think is it Dion Bush? No. Oh my gosh, who did they pick up? Who did these Chiefs pick up? Where's Chiefs fans when you need them? Where they at? Picked up a great player though in the offseason. But they're without him as well. So two key defensive players, Chris Jones and the other young man. I definitely see this being an upset as far as Detroit's offense is going to be cerebral. Of course, the Chiefs' offense is going to be, pretty cerebral. But I like Detroit's defense. Everybody hates Detroit's defense because of what the numbers say. But I love their fight. I love how physical they play. Yeah, the execution is porous, but people are confusing with the poor execution and with lack of physicality. They don't lack physicality. They lack execution. And so we don't know from an execution standpoint what this head coach for the Detroit Lions was able to go ahead and fix in the offseason, because we know physically, we know that they match up defensively with anybody. So I'm very excited to see what they look like defensively from an execution standpoint, because I know how physical they are. And then offensively, we know what they are with two horses in the back, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown on the outside, on the and you got just that play calling, that offensive play calling, that offensive scheme is deadly. And it's going to move the ball in those Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going with the upset. I'm going out on a limb. I'm going with the upset.
I got the Chiefs, but I think it's going to be close. I don't think. I think Detroit's going to. I think Detroit's going to keep it close with the offense. I think it's going to be a very high scoring game. My final score is probably like 30-26. I think Detroit keeps it close. I just don't think they have enough firepower to beat the Chiefs. I think they're a good football team, but to go out there week 1 in Kansas City on the road and pull off a win like that, I just don't think they got enough. I just don't think they got enough. I don't really have a really big analytical standpoint on this. It's just the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's not losing week 1 celebrating the Super Bowl at home. But I do think the offense of the Lions does enough to keep it close. But their defense is going to struggle week 1. Patrick Mahomes is going to leave right where he left off his MVP Super Bowl win. And he's gonna put points up. I see like a 30-26 game, 32-28, something like that. I think the Lions cover, but the Chiefs win.
Who you got, Nation? Close us out.
Nah, I'm going with the upset. I'm going with the Lions. They my sleeper team. I think this is going to get them, off to a great start to the road to the playoffs this year. So looking forward to seeing them beat the Chiefs in week 1 at Kansas City. It's going to be a huge win.
I'm right there with you. Right there with you, King. Right there with you, Nation.
How big of a do you think do you think the reason why the Chiefs lost is because they don't have Chris Jones? Is that
I mean, it plays
just
a
a little
role.
thing?
It plays a role.
No, I think
Jared
it plays a role. I think for me, my thought process is I love what Detroit's been building over the past couple of years. I love Amara St. Brown. I think he's really, really, really good. And I just think that that team is just kind of coming into somewhat of a newer identity. Got some young guys that are, I think, going to really step up for them. So I think just in general, obviously Chris Jones does like sway me a little bit, but I mean I just think Detroit is just going to be one of those they're just going to be a solid team going into this season. They're going to win some games that they wouldn't normally win. I think they're going to start off with Kansas City.
Beautiful.
Okay, that was the last topic. So if you want to close us out, King, we finished right on time today.
We got a lot of clips today, Gator. We got the prediction clips. We have a couple of hot little clips in there. And we definitely have the clip of Thai Nation's example of being taking advantage of synchronization and being anywhere and everywhere to be on the show. So we got that as well. So we got to make sure we get those clips in. Again, thank you anybody that tuned in during the show and that will tune in. Thank you in advance to everybody that will tune in. You probably won't even hear this message. I'm just so thankful for those who watch and who see it anyway. Views on all the social medias are only rising and rising, and so we are appreciative of those views and those comments in the comment box sections. We're appreciative of those, and again, I know you probably won't see this message. I just want to still say thank you.
On Friday we got NFL playoff predictions. I mean, not playoff predictions. Week 1 predictions. I'm so happy to be talking about football again. There is not one Monday or one Sunday without football for the rest of the year. So that'll be fun. So we'll have a lot of previews for week 1 and some of the key matchups on Friday. Other than that, we out though. Thanks again for tuning in if you tuned in, and we'll see you on Friday.
Stay safe, everybody. Blessings and protection for everybody out there, man.
See you.